I became fat in my adult life. I was always the chubby kid who never took off his shirt because of my gut and my pepperoni nipples. When puberty hit, I became a lot more fit without even trying. I stuffed my face with fast food and still stayed lean. But then I turned 20. My weight skyrocketed. At first, I gained a few pounds, then 10, then 20, 30. Finally, I gained over 60 pounds. I was at rock bottom. I hated how I looked. I felt like everyone around me was judging me and laughing at me. I felt like no one respected me. I was no longer the young kid in puberty who could eat and do whatever he wanted. I am a grown man whose metabolism has slowed to a halt. Today, I will give you a definitive guide on how to get lean like I did. As a 26-year-old man, I am back to the weight I was back in my teenage years, except this time with a lot more muscle. So today I'm going to be giving you the principles that I use and have used to lose over 60 pounds. You will get lean and stay lean forever after this. Before I start, I think one of the most important things before you go on any journey for any reason, right, is to have the proper mindset, right? If you go in with a shitty mindset, you're starting off on the wrong foot. Everything you do, everything you see, everything you perceive is all mental, right? So this is really where everything starts. So when it comes to weight loss, getting lean and staying lean, if you are fat, and I know a lot of you probably are, if not skinny fat, think this is temporary. This isn't your forever life. This is just a snapshot. It's a moment in time. And that's all it is. You are not a slave to food. I see a lot of people talking all the time about like, oh, I don't know what came over me. I just ate the whole tub of ice cream and just shoveled it into my mouth. Next thing you know, the whole fucking tub is gone. Or, oh, I can't do that. I can't stop eating XYZ thing. I need that. I hear a lot of people making this excuse with bread. Don't get me wrong, I used to love bread, and I still love bread. Comes a moment where if I'm trying to reach a goal, if I want to get lean, if I want to be the best version of myself, I'm gonna have to change. I'm gonna have to do something different. But if I can't give up something as simple as bread for maybe even just a little while, who's in control? Am I in control, or is the bread in control? I believe that really ties into my next point of food as a tool. Food is a tool. Anything you do with a tool is of your volition. You control the tool doesn't control you. It's meant to be a way to serve you instead of you serving it. Like imagine if a construction worker worshipped his hammer. Like he'd give it a little kiss and he'd shine, I love you so much, I would never use you I would never hammer you and I would never hurt you. Like, that would be fucking ridiculous. And he would probably be just fucking kicked out of the construction site. Like, he'd just be laughed off. But people have this mentality with food. Like, they cherish food more than they should. Food is just a tool. It's for nourishment. And at times, it can be to make you... How can I say this without like people coping and being like, see, it's good, like you should eat whatever you want because it's good experience and you feel really nice inside. It's like, no. There are moments where food can be an experience. You can try something new. Maybe it might not be the healthiest. Or, you go out with your friends or, you and your girlfriend go out and, you see this really nice like matcha ice cream shop and your girlfriend's like, oh, I really want to try this. I've seen it on, YouTube, TikTok, on Instagram. Everyone goes here. They love it. I want to experience it with you. I want to do this with you. Okay, fine. Like, then you can go, you can have some. In moderation, you'll be fine. When it comes to anything, you should have a growth mindset. In your mind, you should be aiming to improve yourself. Every step you take is towards a goal that you set for yourself. And you want to keep the promises you make to yourself. There was a point in my life where I used to like say, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. I promise myself I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna lose weight. I'm going to lift more weights. I'm going to read more books. I'm gonna wake up early. I'm gonna quit vaping. I kept lying to myself. I kept making these promises to myself. And whether I realized it or not, internally, subconsciously, my brain is getting used to me being a liar. It's bad enough you can lie to others, but imagine lying to yourself. Then imagine your subconscious mind no longer wanting to listen to you, no longer believing in you. If your subconscious mind is lost, you're done. I mean, like, we all know people who have extremely low self-esteem, who you try to pull up as much as you can. And, you know, I used to know someone who was kind of more of a depressive type. And I always like, hey, let's do this, let's do that. Oh, did you see this thing, this new thing? Oh, like, check this person out. Like, aren't they cute? Whatever. And they always defaulted to defeating themselves. They always defaulted to like, oh, well, you know, people like us, we'll never amount to anything. Like, people like me, like, I can't do anything, you know. I'm pathetic. No, I'm okay, I'll just stay home. Like, no one, like, imagine that. Like, that fucking, you probably are annoyed right now that I just did that. There's probably someone in your life who is like that. Now imagine you doing this to yourself, and your subconscious mind is like giving up, and you slowly kind of drift away. You kind of push that person away, and you don't really interact with them, right? You're letting yourself go. Although I believe you can do this like head on, like you could just start with your fucking feet running, I also want you to realize you can do this incrementally. I personally had like a flick of a switch moment in my head. I've had many of these, but there's always like the last one, the last straw, and then everything changes. And for me, it was when I went out with my friend's family to go to the beach. And I had my tank top on to try to cover up as much as possible. I felt very kind of insecure, and I looked around and there was other people who were a lot more fit than me, who were just parading around. They had nice muscles, they were nice and lean, and they were just I felt the confidence come from them. I felt like they were proud of the space they took up, whereas I wanted to kind of shrink down a little bit. I was kind of embarrassed to even be there with my friend's family. I was embarrassed for them to see me like this. And like I'm like shrinking up, you know, this is kind of how I felt. Like I wanted to kind of curl up. I remember me and my buddy, I would always have this conversation with him, and because it was such an important thing to me. I would tell him like, I'm so sick and I'm so tired of being fat. I just want to look good. I want to feel good. And you know, I would kind of I'd grab my stomach like this and say like, look, and I'd grab a fat chunk too, like without even trying. I'd grab a fat chunk. And I'd say, like, look at this, like, this waste, this, like, extra disgustingness on my body. Like, I'd be very negative about myself. Which, like, you know, good thing, bad thing. Like, there are times when being honest with yourself is important. Like, when there's, like, a fucking morbidly obese person, they're like, I love my body. I'm so healthy right now. Ooh. Damn, like, I'm the healthiest I've ever been. Everyone should live like me. Like, fuck off, okay? But then there's, like, too much negativity where you're constantly beating on yourself. So you want to strike, like, a middle ground. Like Aristotle said, like, there's a golden mean. You need to be realistic, But you also need to be honest. Or kind to yourself. You need to be realistic and kind to yourself. What causes weight gain to begin with? A lot of the common knowledge would tell you, oh, it's just calories in, calories out. It's all about calories. This is calories, that is calories. How much do you spend? How much do you earn? Are you positive or are you in the negative when it comes to calories? This is the advice you will hear from fucking everybody. You will hear it in videos. You will talk to your friends and that's what they'll tell you. They'll parrot that back to you. You talk to the gym bro and they'll tell you, oh, it's calories in, calories out. Even if they're jacked, even if they are shredded, that's the kind of messaging they'll tell you. Even a lot of like textbooks will talk about this in terms of just calories in, calories out. I personally believe that it's more about hormones, because hormones are what control you gaining this weight to begin with. That is the underlying mechanism. But it's a lot more difficult and nuanced to explain than just, well, did you eat less calories than you burned? So one of the key players in weight gain or weight loss is insulin. It's blood glucose levels, right? It is the sensitivity that your body has towards insulin. Now, I could get into the science of it, and I have a whole bunch of notes that I take on this stuff because I'm incredibly serious about this, guys. This means a lot to me, and I want to absolutely put the best content out there I possibly can. When you eat too many things that increase your blood glucose level, your body, your pancreas specifically, releases insulin. This insulin goes to the different types of cells, like, whether it's a muscle cell, it's like the liver cell, whatever it might be, it goes to all different parts of your body, and it says, hey, like, we got this glucose. Do you want to use this? Like, do you need this energy? Right? And in your muscle is like, yeah, we'll use this energy. We need that energy, actually. And then the insulin puts it into the muscle. And then that energy, that glucose, is used. When you develop a resistance to insulin, that just means there's so much of insulin that your body starts kind of ignoring it. Like, the certain cells in your body start ignoring that signal. It's like if someone kept bothering you, calling your name every 10 minutes for like 5 years, you're going to start ignoring your name. Someone else is going to say your name and you're not going to even bat an eye. You're just going to blank it out. And that's exactly what these cells do when there's too much insulin. And that's just kind of like the down and dirty. And, there's also like this whole thing about fat cells, and when they get too engorged, when they get too big, they kind of become insulin resistant as well, because insulin causes growth. And if that fat cell keeps growing, at some point it's gonna fucking explode, right? And to stop that, it becomes slow to insulin. It becomes way more resistant, right? So you have these huge fat deposits in your body, and they're like, we can't grow anymore, so we're just going to stay just like this. And then the rest of the fat cells grow with it. And that brings a whole slew of fucking issues. Heart disease, specific types of cancer like colon and breast cancer. They even say Alzheimer's is the type 3 diabetes that is caused by, this interaction of insulin. I just want to cover a lot of the bases here too. All these different topics can have videos in and of themselves. So if you're interested in that, just let me know. I'll make a video. But there are other causes too. So there's sleep deprivation, right? And to kind of give a little tidbit, when you are sleep deprived, you are twice as likely to be hungry, or twice as strong in hunger. Your ghrelin goes up by a factor of 2. So you are way more hungrier than you would have been before sleep, before getting adequate sleep. There's also stress, cortisol, that fight or flight response. If you constantly are in stress, if you constantly have cortisol in your body, your body's gonna feel like it needs to run or needs to act. So it's gonna keep pumping glucose into your blood, and then insulin's gonna keep being released, and now we have the same cycle as I just talked about, but with just stress. Eating habits is also another one. This has a lot to do with ghrelin as well. Like, your body gets used to when you eat. So if there's certain times when you eat and you stop doing that, your body's going to release ghrelin in those times, which is the hunger hormone, to make you feel hungry, to make you want to eat. Once that is released, because you're on kind of a set schedule like you are with your circadian rhythm, you're going to feel hungry throughout the day, especially if you snack all the time. So I just want to let it be known, like I said, I have done a lot of research, I have watched a lot of videos, I have read a lot of books about this, about the different aspects of what I'm about to talk about, but most importantly, I experimented. So this is what I did, okay? Before we start, I implore you, nay, I beg you, take progress pictures, weigh yourself, and record your weight. This is something that I wish I have done more diligently throughout my process, my progress, because it's so nice to be able to look back and see that progression and to see the trend of, oh, I'm moving in the right direction, so I'm doing good. Even if there's like a road bump, I know I am better than I was before. So I really recommend, like, you just get up right now, pause this video, take a picture of your face, of your body from two different, front facing, side facing, maybe even record a video of you filming your body, like grabbing the different parts of your body, just to show the amount of fat you have on your body. And then weigh yourself, okay? And then keep track in like some sort of journal, keep track, write it down. Every single day you can do this. You can do it every 3 days. You can do it once a week, but definitely have something to be able to look back on. So the biggest things when it comes to what I did to lose over 60 pounds of fat and gain the muscle that I have now is to lower my carbohydrate intake. Focusing on a very low carb diet has a lot of benefits. It's actually shown to have 3 times the loss of visceral adipose tissue compared to low-fat diet, right? Where you go low in fat and high in carbs and normal amount in protein. By going lower carb, at least decreasing your carbohydrate intake, especially for foods that are high in the glycemic index and very low fiber, avoid those and minimize them as much as you can. Eat high protein and high fat. Don't be afraid of fat. There was this whole thing for years where fat is the enemy. Cholesterol, heart attacks, arteries. If you eat healthy fats, like avocados, if you put olive oil on your food, if you, drink unsweetened coconut milk, coconut juice. So, I don't know why that's just so stupid. Coconut. These things put your body in a better position to become insulin sensitive again. If you follow this, your sensitivity to insulin will increase, which is a good thing. Your body will start preferring to use the fat stored in your body rather than from the carbs and stuff you eat, thus losing the weight that's on your body, not just the shit you ate like 10 minutes ago, like the fat on your body, okay? I don't count calories. I always found that if I count calories, I will just hate my life, so I just don't, right? There's other ways to mitigate it. Like, there's some research that shows that doing intermittent fasting, or ADF, which is adjusted... I keep forgetting what this acronym stands for. I know I have it written down because I read a research paper on this. Alternate day fasting. So, just a quick rundown. That's when you eat, like, let's say 25% of your energy needs, and then the next day you eat 125. So one day you're conserving, and then the next day you're feasting. So compared to the calorie restriction diet, all of these performed about the same, where ADF was better than all three of them, but in general they were about the same. So if you don't like counting calories, quick tip, intermittent fasting. That will help you a lot. You could do the 16-8 just to start off, and then you can move on to OMAD, right? And that has a whole lot of other benefits that, if you guys are curious, we'll talk about in a different video. I eat till I'm full, I eat as much as I want, and I don't snack because I don't feel the need to snack. That is the kind of benefits you get when you are eating high protein and high fats, as opposed to high carb. You can eat quite a bit and you'll be fine, and you'll still make a whole lot of progress. People say, oh, if you eat too much protein, that's going to be treated the same as carb in your blah, 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 blah. Chances of you eating way too much protein are probably slim. Like, you will feel sick before you're even able to eat enough, I believe. So, relax. If you're hungry, eat high protein, eat high fat, you'll be fine, right? And the fat helps with satiety as well. Okay, so I know I talked about intermittent fasting. Let me just hop in a little bit more. Intermittent fasting is good for your insulin. It lowers your insulin, making you more sensitive towards it over time. It has the same benefits as a calorie restrictive diet, but you just don't have to count calories. And most importantly, in studies, the intermittent fasting tends to have a higher compliance rate, aka people just stick to it because it's easier. You just don't eat for a little bit, and then you eat, and then you don't eat, and that's it. I don't know why I did that so dramatically. There is also water fasting, and this is literally, it's a life hack, dude. This is like you are on a rocket ship. But that has to be a whole different video. I have to go a lot more in depth on that because you can really mess it up. Like, I remembered, I've done many different types of fasts. I've done water fasts, I've done sardine fasts. And if you don't respect the water fast, if you don't respect the sardine fast, you will feel very sick. Like, one day I woke up and I didn't properly go through the steps that I should have. And I woke up feeling drunk. Like, I got up and my whole world started spinning, and I had to like grab onto my bookshelf and, kind of sit down and, really just open my eyes to try to like stabilize myself. And I was like on the verge of vomiting all day. Like, I had a vomit, like it felt like the vomit was like going right up to here, and at any moment I was gonna throw up. Thankfully, I kind of knew what to do. I had somewhat experience with this, and I was able to kind of get back into the groove of things. But that was like 6 hours of my day, was fighting the urge not to constantly throw up and being extremely dizzy and nauseous. So pay respects. That's going to be a whole different lesson. I have quite a bit to say about working out. Like, this video was mostly about dieting, and you're surprised, like, why did you not talk about working out? Like, isn't working out like the blah 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 blah? Working out is important, but it's not really that important for weight loss. It is like the secondary thing. It's to make you look better physically, yes. To lose weight, you can't outrun a diet. You can't outlift a diet. That is just a common fact. Unless you do steroids. So if you're doing steroids, I don't know why you're watching this, but I'm going to have a whole nother video on the workouts I do. But just to keep it simple, since you guys are watching, I only have dumbbells. I have 2 adjustable power blocks, which is like the little dumbbells that you can add weight or remove weight from. And I have a crusty old bench that I got from my grandma. It was actually her workout bench that she never used. She just fucking had it. And those are the 2 pieces of equipment I use. And I mostly focus on compound movement. I do nice, slow, controlled with good form. And when I feel like I want to improve a specific part of my body, I focus more on it. Maybe I add another set. Maybe I add, I put it in another day. maybe I add another workout that hits the same muscle group. So that's just kind of a glimpse into what I do, what I have done to be able to lose weight very fast, very rapidly. Bonus tip: go for walks. Walks is also really good for insulin. Um, if you ascribe to weight loss, like in terms of like calories in, calories out, like that's a good way of like burning calories. You can listen to a podcast. You feel healthier. You feel a lot better. You're out in the sun. It's a win-win. So if you made it this far, thank you for watching. If you have any other questions, just let me know in the comments. I'm actually working on a school community where I'm going to have so many different courses on health, whether it's weight loss, getting lean, building muscle, sleep, all these different types of things in courses. And we're going to have Q&As in there where I talk to you guys, I answer your guys' questions, and we have a good time. We all make progress together, and we keep each other accountable. So if you're interested in that, I have the link in the description. Check it out. Peace out, guys.